Thank you. I'm Joey Havens, and I'm passionately living out my life's purpose, which is to inspire others to see and realize their full potential, and to inspire leaders and organizations to have the faith to put people first and purpose second in workplace culture. Now, the first thing I'd like to do today is introduce you to someone who inspires me. He's my best friend. He's a Yorkie. His name is Oliver. He's 4 years old. He weighs about 6 pounds, and he's literally my shadow. If I take a step at the house, he's right behind me. He sits in my office, waits patiently for me to get through working so we can play ball. He loves to go fishing with me. He sleeps right by my side at night. And he is a registered emotional support dog for my wife, Kathy. He's not doing her a lot of good. Now, but I brought him today for inspiration. But not for me, for you. So in the next 15 minutes, if you have some emotional discomfort, unrest, maybe bored, I want you to look at this picture of Oliver and be inspired, because Oliver has had to listen to this talk every day for 4 weeks. So he has 2 favorite words in this talk. In closing, and we have a little humor around emotional support, but when we go to workplace culture, too many team members, too many of us need emotional support because we're faced with an epidemic of loneliness, a lack of purpose, and burnout in the workplace. And as we look at that, it can seem hopeless at times, and we do need support. And today, what I'd like for me and you to do is discover some magnetic energy that's already in our lives that we can help transform workplace culture. And we'll have the opportunity, not the idea, but the opportunity to elevate those around us and really have exponential growth in our personal growth journey. So doesn't that seem like it'd be worth us to spend a few minutes on that? So I'm going to ask you to participate. I'm going to give you some real rapid questions here. And if it applies to you, raise your hand and keep it raised. If you hear another one, raise another hand. If you hear another one, raise a knee. Don't hurt somebody that's sitting next to you. We're going to do this really fast, but if you're active in the workplace, raise your hand. If you have a spouse in the workplace, raise your hand. If you're part-time, raise your hand. If you're a gig worker, raise your hand. If you have a friend that's in the workplace, raise your hand. If you have another family member that's in the workplace. So we can see really quickly workplace culture impacts all of us. This subject impacts all of us. Now, I'm going to come back to that in a moment. As I think about that, what it really takes to reach your full potential, we need a strong sense of belonging, and we need high trust. And we need organizations that prioritize people and purpose. And yet, this is what the headlines look like today. This is just one of many. This is a Harvard Business Review just 2 months ago. We're still lonely at work. Isn't it time for somebody to do something different? And yet, leaders and organizations continue to double down. But people are reevaluating what they need out of work. And Gallup has called this new period the Great Detachment. And in their recent surveys, they recorded a historical low of 18% of workers are truly satisfied. Over 50% are looking for another opportunity. Under 40% feel respected at work. And trust has never been so low. It's certainly not a pretty picture. And yet, leaders and organizations keep doubling down. It reminds me of my favorite quote from Mark Twain. It's not what we don't know that gets us in trouble. It's what we know for sure that just ain't so. His wisdom is all about outdated mindsets, and some of our most closely held beliefs can blind us to what's really important. And we have so many organizations that are driving growth at whatever cost, customer ratings at whatever cost, profitability at whatever cost, just doubling down. And I hear this all the time. We have good culture. We pay our people well. We have good culture. We say it louder and louder. We believe it, but it just ain't so. So how do we get from lonely jobs to thriving teams? And that's the most challenging part of today's talk, because I've got to share with you a defining moment in my career where my outdated mindset got laid out in front of me and I saw that I was the problem. This was April 2011. Our company was looking for its next CEO. I was one of the leading candidates. I was headed to a meeting to get feedback from 38 other top leaders in the company. I was confident. I felt like we had great culture and I was influencing that culture. About 15 minutes into that meeting, you could have hit me in the forehead with a 2x4. I was blinded, I was shocked, stunned, I was embarrassed. I felt alone and I was mad. That feedback could be summed up in 4 words. We don't trust Joey. 27 years of growing this company and pursuing results came back, we don't trust Joey. Now, it was in that painful, defining moment that I saw my outdated mindset, that I was blind to what was most important, which is people. And it was in my rebuilding that I discovered the wisdom I want to share with you today. The 3 secrets to magnetic energy that can truly transform workplace culture. So let's jump into those. Here they are. Secret number 1 is to believe in magnetic energy and in the inherent good in people. Secret number 2 is to trust first and provide each other the benefit of good intentions. And secret number 3 is dare to connect and demonstrate that we care. Now, when you do all 3 of these, this magnetic energy is transformational. But for us to understand the power of it and for us to understand how it's already part of our lives, I want to dive into each one of these individually. Secret number 1, dare to believe. You see, our beliefs affect our actions and our words. So it's really important. And magnetic energy is founded in the belief in the inherent good in people. People want to succeed. They want to meet expectations. When you show up in the workplace, do you not want to succeed? Absolutely. That's the inherent good in people. And our Creator designed us with this innate desire to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And when we're there, we have a special energy. Now I'm going to ask you to leave this talk right now and go to that favorite team that you were on where you got all bought in. It could be a work team, a school team, a sports team. It could be a project, a community project, a church project. But you got involved, you thought you'd do a little bit, and all of a sudden you were all in. You had a strong sense of belonging, your performance raised, and you could see that this group was going to do something bigger than you. You got that vividly in your mind? See, that's what people are looking for from work. That's that magnetic energy. We can't touch magnetic energy, but we can feel it. Magnetic energy is not a fairy tale. We know when a team has it. And so here's our insight. Magnetic energy is a choice. Believe and share a vision of something bigger than you. Secret number 2 is dare to trust first. It takes a lot of courage to trust. And when I say trust first, everybody gets like this. I saw some of you maybe even lean back in your chairs a little bit. Because we don't like that, right? Why is that? We've all had our trust broken, and we don't like that, no matter who it was. Friend, family, work, we've had our trust broken. But when we trust first, it creates more trust. It's actually very powerful, and we can be smart with our trust. So let's, again, do a self-reflection here, because I will bet you have experienced a time, and hopefully more than once, when someone really trusted you first. They trusted you just out of the blue. You could feel it. You knew it when they may have even expressed it to you. They may have given you the keys to their personal car, their home, asked you to care for a loved one, introduced you to their best friend or their biggest customer, gave you a big raise, promotion, put you over the biggest project. Whatever it was, you knew in that moment you were being trusted. Everybody got yours? All right, this is very transformational. There's 2 things that happen. This is what happens to me. When I recognize that, I lean in, my self-awareness goes up, I am all in, I am trying to meet expectations. Why is that? Remember, believe in the inherent good in people? We want to be worthy of that trust. Absolutely, we want to be worthy. The big second transformational thing is that we move that person up on our ladder of trustworthiness. We're much more likely to trust them and give them the benefit of good intentions. So you see how the power of that happens? It creates trust. Organizations can't create trust. Only people can. And the workplace is void of trust. So it's going to take courageous team members like you and me to trust first. And that is our insight. Dare to trust first. Give each other the benefit of good intentions. Seek to understand before you judge. Secret number 3, dare to connect. When I came out of that meeting in 2011, it was evident that I had not connected in any way with those other 38 leaders. I didn't know them and they didn't know me. And that's not a good place to be. But it was my decision in rebuilding to go visit with all 38 leaders one-on-one that was a game changer. Because then I understood them, their aspirations, what their concerns were. They could see my heart. We had that connection, which built our resilience. It made our team stronger. And I guess Gallup puts it the best. This is how powerful relationships are. 70% of everything that we want to achieve in workplace culture is tied to relationships, especially the direct manager relationship. That's productivity, sense of belonging, retention, customer satisfaction, 70% of it in relationships. How powerful is that? And this is based on 25 years of surveys and over 64 million people. That's a lot of evidence. But let's bring it back home to us right here in this room. There's a real common reason why it works. People always wonder if they're good enough. Don't you have self-doubt sometimes? Don't you wonder when you get that big opportunity, that big raise, am I good enough? Obviously, when I had the opportunity to stand on this red dot, I said, Joey, are you good enough to stand there and share this wisdom? We have that, but connections take us through that. And when people know you care, they care. And the other great connector is gratitude. When we share gratitude, when we show appreciation and recognition, it brings people together and it helps step through that fear. When I graduated from Ole Miss and moved to Houston, Texas, I went to work for the largest accounting firm in the world. We had 1,200 professionals right there in the downtown Houston. In that first year, my division leader took me to lunch and thanked me for some work we had done on a project. It was a game changer. It helped me step through that fear of being good enough. And I'll tell you something else. When people feel valued, they become more valuable. And so here's our insights. Be open so people can know you. Share gratitude abundantly. And invest in those social connections. Because magnetic energy is real, and this is how we get from lonely jobs to thriving teams. And I saw it change our company as we went, when I became CEO in 2012 to 2021. We grew organically from 400 team members to over 2,000. We went from slow single-digit growth to exponential growth. We went from low employee retention to high employee retention. We went from low performance to high performance. All with that magnetic energy. It's a game changer. And let's go back to where we started, which is workplace culture affects all of us. You know, the greatest thing about our journey was all the positive impact we had on people's lives. And so, as we bring this to a close, this is when Oliver lifts his ears, because this is the most important insight, is culture is changed one conversation at a time. And so I'm going to leave you with one challenge. What conversation will you have to create magnetic energy on your team? Thank you, and God bless.